Wow. How much is something Gigi la lame? That was gonna be a bit awkward. Questa, the song goes by Corabella. I'm just gonna ask you guys something. You guys know what Corabella means?
Corabella? I don't.
Oh my word. For reals?
I'm Zulu, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. So I'm Tswana, and basically what Corabella means is, it's like a thing, like a love potion that they like you put in someone's food to make them fall in love with you. Okay. Normally associated with women, so they put it in the guy's food and then he falls in love.
Oh, cool.
Quite fitting for the conversation. How you guys doing, man? You guys are tuned in. This is the Current Affairs. I am standing in for Linda Kumalo. I go by the name of Sui, and yeah, welcome guys. How you guys doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Why are you guys so shy?
We're not shy.
Okay, good.
We're getting comfortable. You know, this
Khethu,
is your
you don't
thing.
look shy. You've been here before.
Yeah, I have been.
Yes. So come on, lead us to the promised land.
No, it would be a bit contentious for a male to be leading women to the promised land on feminism. So
That wouldn't be contentious.
I'm here to be a background cheerleader and also a background detractor. So,
Well, first, thanks for inviting me.
No, thank you guys for coming in. I didn't invite you guys, but I really appreciate you guys coming in here. And we all know that tomorrow marks the first day of Women's Month. As to why we always hype it up come August, and it's not a all year thing. We can talk about that as well. But how are you guys doing?
We're good. Sue.
We're good.
And so today's topic, feminism, if I'm not mistaken, versus.
It's, well, not versus anything, just sort of in discussion, because it means so many different things to different people.
So let me ask you, Alex, what does it mean for you in this day and age?
For me, it means, in sort of basic terms, the social, economic, and political equality of men and women, and in terms of making a difference. For me, a movement is just a whole bunch of individual people moving forward. And if it's not encouraging social mobility and actually changing things and making things better, I'm sort of not interested in it. So for me, feminism is tackling women's issues and making the world for individual women a better place.
I really like how it has kind of drifted from, maybe like a year or two ago. It'll be like, being a feminist means like you anti-man, that's how it used to be branded. But I love how you find like an old man who has a shirt and he's rocking a shirt that says, this is what a feminist look like. And then I've seen a couple of those going by, and I don't know if it's just a branding type of thing, or are we moving in that direction, so to speak?
I mean, I hope so. And I think it's such a huge movement, feminism, like with so many movements. And it's over 100 years now since the word feminism has started to be, has been used. So when something is so complex, there's so many distortions and so many different offshoots. So, it's so complicated, and I hope that it's going from an issue where it's sort of very isolated and very sort of complicated to a mainstream issue where it's talked about more, because if it's not talked about, it's not helping anyone.
I, for one, if I can share my opinion, is in the past couple of months or weeks, or so to speak, there's been a lot of crisis happening in South Africa, and we had somewhat of a touchy topic, and we always had to walk on eggshells, as a guy in today's society. We have to be so critical about what you say to women, and I feel like it kind of put me in a corner. I don't know, Khethu, do you ever feel the same way?
No, I feel like those are exactly what we need to be unpacking, those type of issues. And we shouldn't be walking on eggshells, but we should be self-reflective of what we say and how we think about what we're saying, because it does no one any good in the discussion on any topic to be walking on eggshells, because then we sort of stop talking about the critical stuff. When it comes to feminism, I feel like as a man, if you're not educated about feminism and women's rights and women's ways, you should be able to come into the space with an open mind and say, okay, here, I want to engage with this topic. I want to find out more about how I can be an instrument for change for women's rights in the society that we live in. You can't just be someone who's saying, okay, it doesn't affect me. I'm male. I don't want to end up taking over the discussion, or I don't want to end up steering it away from what it has to be. No, we all need to be involved in discussing this, because we all play a role every single day in the construction of gender and identity. So you might not even be aware of it, but every single day you perform gender.
Yeah.
And you also evaluate other people's performance of their gender, and you make it legitimate in the spaces that you guys all occupy.
True
That's
that.
such a good point.
Yeah.
What is your definition of feminism? What do you think about it? It's so interesting to hear what so many different people think about it.
My definition is similar to yours, but I find it a bit problematic, because I think when it comes to race and feminism, when we say we want equality, I think no, we shouldn't be striving for that, because we can never really get equality from where we are. If you're saying you just want equality for women, you're still setting women behind centuries, because you're saying you want to take away the structures that prohibits women being oppressed. But how do you push women into the advantage where they can now be equal to men? Because if you're saying, yes, we are allowing more women to be CEOs, that is still not equality.
No, I agree with you.
It's still problematic.
There's actually a debate we had a while back that the equality. Let's first maybe define what equality is. What would women like to see them? If equality means being able to get the same job as a man, and then if you put women in a position that way, does she feel still equal, or where does it lie?
I mean, equality is so complex, and it means a different thing for everyone. And I think in the 1950s or 40s, when women could only be nurses and not doctors, equality meant a different thing. Equality meant being able to be a doctor,
so
having
it
the same
always
job
transgress
as a
over
man.
time
But
as well.
that was so long ago, and it means a different thing now. And equality in terms of, feminism itself is not equal, because not all women are equally oppressed. Black women are more oppressed than white women. Disabled women are more oppressed than able-bodied women. And that's why intersectionality is so important, because the power structure of society is complex, and sort of people think that women are still at a disadvantage, but then there's a step lower, and it's so easy to oversimplify things. So I think when talking about equality, it's all about making changes and making individuals' lives better, because striving for a perfect society will just leave people disappointed. It's all about sort of small stepping stones to making people's lives better, instead of getting bogged down in creating a utopia.
Wow. I could definitely, see a couple of ticks right there. I just want to ask Princess over here.
Yes.
If you may step into the topic as well, let's not, leave you hanging. As a woman, as a black woman, and so many other things, give us your definition of feminism.
You know what? The airbrushed version of feminism is what Alex said feminism is. It's a person who believes in the political, social, and economic equality of both sexes, right? But then, as a black woman, I've had a difficulty with the title feminist. And today I just did a mini exercise in trying to find someone to come and talk on the topic on feminism. So I'd approach a person and say, are you a feminist? Are you able to talk on the topic? And they're sort of like undecided about it. They felt like they cannot call themselves a feminist, because it's either the person doesn't identify with it, or they have a problem with the movement, with some aspects of the movement. But for me personally, after doing some soul searching and doing a bit of research, I identify myself as an Africana womanist. I believe that black women have got different needs and different challenges, and feminism has a difficulty in fitting into the black struggle, because black women have got a race problem, not a man problem. They've got a class problem. So I believe in feminist-centeredness, not female-centeredness. That's what womanism is about. Really being feminist-centered, not female-centered. I believe that as a race, we have to sort of like fight racism first before we can fight female matters. So I can't essentially say I'm a feminist. Although Chimamanda says we should all be feminists. I have a problem with gender, and I believe that gender should be dealt with, because gender is problematic for both women and men.
Well, I just want to add to that. I've heard other women feel like, they felt like for not being a feminist, they felt oppressed by, feminists themselves, you know, in the sense that they felt like,
Mm.
you know, I'm not standing for a particular cause. Maybe, for instance, this woman loves being a housewife, and someone that loves to be, I don't want to say oppressed, but like, you know, she's more submissive, if that's the word I could use. And then you like, no, but you're not being a feminist, you're not standing up for yourself. And then she feels like, you know, you aren't being a feminist because you like looking down on her.
Yeah.
So then how do we address a topic like that where in that small category of its own, there's still, you know, departments that are, you know, still at war as well?
Well, when it comes to any kind of identity, there will always be gatekeepers of what the identity should be. So, for instance, masculinity, there are certain prescriptions of what it means to be male.
Yes.
And that's the same thing comes with feminism. Feminism started as a revolution against patriarchy. So now when you see that identity now becoming sort of popularized, people sort of want to sort of claim their sort of unique feminism by saying, you know what, I'm a feminist because, you know, I don't sleep with men, or I'm a feminist because I believe in socio-economic equality of women, or I believe in the equality of black women. So there will always be, with identities, it becomes problematic. Even with marginalized identities, you end up fighting amongst yourselves about who you are, because now you become so fragmented. Yeah,
like
so
with any movement, there's always different sort of variations of how radical it is, and there you get extremes in any movement. From even religion's an example. You can get mild religious people, you can get very extreme religious people.
Very staunch,
yeah, I mean, and terrorism is a part of that. It's very extreme, but it doesn't mean all people in that religion believe the same things and go that far. And so all movements, all structures, all belief systems are divided. And I think it's just important to relate it to the individuals you know instead of generalizing.
All right. I just want to take a quick break, you know, so we can, you know, re-put our thinking caps on, because it got a bit intense in here, but I really love like the banter, definitely different opinions. You know, I for one, I'm learning a few things as well, and but more importantly, I think something that we always never really get to is the solutions, on how, or rather, what methods can be put in place, if there ever is a solution,
to make things better. Because I think that's actually what all of these things are about.
Yeah.
Africana womanism, feminism, it's all just about making things better.
Yeah.
So actually, it doesn't even need a name.
All right.
If we're striving for the same thing.
All right, man. Once again, it is the Current Affairs Show. Right now, let's just exchange with Bryson Tiller. Music.